Yo, welcome guys. We're doing a little 6-man CM today. This, I think, is the sort of meta raid right now, because Chambers caps at 6 loots and we can all get a perfect roll. So there's a good chance we can see anywhere from like 3 to 6 loots depending on the raid. We've been farming these for like 2 days now, and they're more or less the best raids, I think. So I'm going to run you through one of them from my perspective. What we're doing is we're having 2 mages, 2 rangers, and 2 melees for each relic style. Mages need to have a trident or a shadow. Rangers need an ACB or a ZCB, and melees need a BGS or a Warhammer. That's what we're running. Everyone's T7 or T8. In this raid, we have a lot of Guardians and an Executioner, so we're actually going to have a pretty stacked team. And these raids are anywhere from like 21-22 minutes. Last raid was literally a T-bow, and we've seen about 4 or 5 at this stage. Plus, I have a mole. I've seen a couple of moles, and I think we've only seen 1 Kodai. Seen 3 or 4 pets, but yeah, the point is these are insane raids, and I'm going to run you through it. So, whenever team is ready. These are really chill from my perspective. I'm not running Berserker. I've got Soul Stealer and Guardian, so I'm more or less chilling the entire time. There's a few things we do particularly, but for the most part, it's nice and easy. So, Tecton up here, and I use Umbra's Vow to reduce defense at Tecton. It's very, very, very nice for the melees and the guys who are actually dealing with Tecton properly. We like to do Mage Lure. It can yield some 0 downs, but otherwise it's usually a 1 anvil, and that's okay. Still very good. And as you can see, my life here is nice and easy. I just sit back. We have a guy over here, Raichu, is running the Death Relic, so if he ends up dying, he does a lot of damage in the AoE, which is quite nice. And for those wondering, again, the idea behind Umbra's Vow, this reduces Tecton's defense, as if I was, like, BGSing. So it's really nice for the guys. And then Glacie's Vow reduces Mage defense, which is good, but not on Tecton, because we're pretty accurate already. So you'll see me switch between the 2 prayers here and there. There's the Relic popping off. Lets him just sit in melee range and not worry about the death. Very cool Relic. And that's our 1 anvil Tecton. We sometimes get better than that, but that's not bad at all. Hardest room coming up, this is Crabs, of course. And remember, this is the CM, this is like the Giga CM. So what I'm saying is we have like, oh, please tell me I get this. No, I might get this in time. There we go. So this is like the Giga CM, which is basically whenever you enter CM on League Walls, it gets turned into Insane League. And they get better stats and more HP and stuff, so things are a bit harder to kill than main game, but it's still League, so, you know. Anyone gonna lure some crabs? Hello, team? Any Awakers? We need to do Blue Crystal as well. There we go. Very good. Come on, guys. We can do better than that. I did say this was the hardest room. I wasn't lying. There we go. Oblivion Crabs complete. So these are all no-prep raids as well. And we basically just run straight through scabs. No need to do anything. A couple of us running Banker's Note, a couple of us on Soul Steal, so we don't need more than the stuff we bring in, and a couple of pots on the ground. And again, because this is like the Giga CM mode, we need 53,000 points each to guarantee a purple roll of, I think, like, we think it's a bit more than 65%, but we're not sure. Yeah, very, very easy to guarantee our max rolls. So doing higher scale than this yields probably less purples per person, since we're capped at 6 people anyway. And this mode is 15x rate, which is ridiculous, but it's very, very good for loot. We got some cool tech for Ice Demon as well, so as a major I can switch spellbooks with my relic thing. So I've got Ancients, Arceus, and regular spellbook, all in one inventory slot. The annoying part is really managing it though. That'll do, there we go. I can summon this guy right now, take my X off. Grab everything out, switch to Arceus, and then switch into my main spellbook, into Mist Staff, there we go. Very awkward to do, but decent value. I can always grab Tome of Fire for this build as well. If I get a Kodai, that's what I plan on doing, but I'm not sure how much Ice Demon and CM Speedies I'm going to be doing. I think the goal with these is more or less go for something like a sub 20, but even that's a bit tricky unless we have some Berserkers, I think. If everyone was T8, it'd be quite likely. Doing some spellbook shenanigans, there we go. Shamans is great with Shadow, really hits hard. And again, now we're running Glacies, reducing some of their defense. And if I want to min-max it, I can always switch between the two of them to let people get some better purples, better hits on. Golfir has the ZCB and the range relic, so he's doing some pretty fun strats there as well. I think the ZCB relic with the spec relic definitely pumps out the most DPS out of anyone, as long as he has the HP to spec. But he's probably a Banker's Noter as well, so gets to generate some good hits. Right, for Vanguards, similar story. This entire raid I more or less mage, sorry. So the range is like only for the crabs, and the melee is only for the crabs as well. Again, very chill, nice and easy. Tick is indeed running Bankers, or Golf is running Bankers rather. So I get to do my thing here. I just get to summon, go on Ancients, get my extra thrall up and running, and then I click a Vanguard. Easy as. Gotta monitor each of the HPs, of course, and sometimes I gotta freeze the melee. So we're just on Ancients in case. The Balancing Actor isn't actually too bad. Ow. Yeah, the Balancing Actor is surprisingly not too bad here for HPs and whatnot. I'm taking a lot of damage, jeez. That's why we got food though. Bit more damage on the Ranger. And yeah, oh, there's an unlucky. It happened. It's pretty rare that we reset, maybe like 1 in every 5 raids or something like that. Scary melee, go away please. Yeah, even like in the CM mode with like 6 people, still gotta be careful of our damage. I think all it takes is one person to swap targets, and sometimes it can overdo it. Like right now, everyone's attacking this guy, he's gonna get melted, so I'm gonna insta start attacking other stuff. Try and get a freeze on this guy, there we go. And even one more rotation later, we still get the kill, so even a reset's not a big deal, which is very nice for us. This guy should respawn, one hit will kill him, there we go. Here comes the Executioner's Axe. Gaming. See if I can try and get some supplies here. Sometimes I take the Kodai, if I can't get an overload, grab the Kodai. So these, we don't have enough overloads to go around, so if each of the respective styles can get a Kodai, a Twisted, or a melee part, then we're fine. But we also have Heart that we can use, so it's not too bad. Oh, instant bats, 3 points, thank you. He's just too good. These will be quite nice for Vespula, actually. Vespula is one of the more interesting parts of the raid. We're doing the OG Vespula method, which is not the redemption one. And it yields a bit more points, it's a bit safer, and it's a bit more fun. And it involves us, more or less, attacking Vesp instead of attacking the portal. And once Vesp goes down, then we can attack the portal. So if you've been raiding a long time, you would have seen it, but there are a lot of people who do a lot of chambers and still haven't actually seen this method. This doesn't get done on main game, but it's quite good for League. Yeah, doing bosses intended, basically. The other problem with Vespula in CM mode, like the Giga CM mode that's for League version, is that it hits 10s. So even if we're using Redemption, we can be killed straight through Redemption, making it a less desirable method. So we need an anti-poison for Vespula as well now. And let's get going. Burn a lot of Prey Pot here too. Right, there's the Prey Pot, there's the anti-venom. There's the Codite, and I'm all set. Back on Arceus Spellbook. And range pray up. I use Umbras here to help the people do a bit more damage. Summon my boys. If it attacks the grub, sometimes we have someone go do the grub. It can be quite good for us, but I don't think it actually matters too much. We kill it fast enough that it's okay. Vestibula's down, now we can attack the portal. And by the time it comes back up, we will have finished the portal, is the idea. If these grubs pop, we have a bit of time left over, so there's no rush here. We can more or less just keep killing the portal. And these guys probably won't pop by the time we're done over here. We need meleeers attacking Vespula. It's one of those weird interactions where she comes up a bit too quickly if you don't have someone meleeing. But it's okay, we just pray redemption now and it will be done by the time we have any issues. And there we go. So if we have a Scyther, a 2-tick Scyther can keep Vespula down by themselves. If you don't have a 2-tick Scyther, then I think like a 2-tick Whipper or Bulwarker or something is okay. But it's not quite right, so... Either way, relatively easy to get through like that. Right, now we go into Ancients. And I got my little method here where I can do a little bit of barraging. I do take a lot of damage here. I need to step back and eat some food. Eat food. Ideally, I want to be only aggroing one of these guys. I can survive one, 2 is a bit tricky. Oh god, let me survive. Out of prayer. And now for the rangers, I can aggro all of them. And I can get away with it. As long as I'm standing on this tile here. I might be dead to this. Come back. Come on, rangers. I don't think they're quite aggroed on me, so... This tile here is really useful, though. I can survive all 3 if I'm on that tile. Nope, we dead. Unlucky. Need the team to not aggro stuff, really, but it's okay. Luckily, I've got enough points at on that it doesn't matter if we have to run back. But that tile there allows me to tag the ranger when it's in the furthest corner, nearest to me. So we can blood barrage all 3 of them from that tile, just okay. And with 2-tick mage, we get enough HP, we can ticky every time it attacks us. So even if it does get through, we're okay. But I think if there's not one in that corner, probably gotta be a bit more careful or eat food or just not do it. Luckily, I get to miss the best part of the raid, the Guardians. Or the worst part, I should say. Fun for the melee is not so fun for me. Something like two of the meleeers on 2-tick usually beats 4 of us on the other Guardians, so by a long shot as well. Yeah, sitting on 20,000 points just under from the death is okay. 53,000 should be secured at Ulm pretty easily, so even 1 death is quite lenient towards points. And a max roll is, again, pretty easily attainable. Right, let's grab our stuff. If you've got a D-pick, you can happily spec here. I think Dragon Pickaxe spec is more useful than BGSing or Warhammering these guys typically. Same as main game in that sense. And our setup for this is that we have 2 of the guys on melee on the north side. And the rest of us 5-ticking on the south side. And this setup is a little bit nicer than anything else. It means they don't rag us and we don't rag them. And when they finish, they 2-tick from this side here, on the north side. Our guys should really be up there as well. And that means they won't rag us either. There we go. That's our nice little melee setup. Yeah, this is our 2-2-2 setup, so 2 major, 2 ranger, 2 melee. And without the 2 melee, you can really feel the difference at places like Tecton and Guardian. Melee hand as well, to be honest, so... Funnily enough, a good balance of relics makes for a good balanced raid. Right, Vast is nice and easy, but we do have to be a bit respectful of its HP, of its damage rather, at the start here. Need to brew up big time, and help teammates by praying mage on the way in. Otherwise they're going to get destroyed, and off we go. I'm not sure if Intensify is actually good here. I think that once you lower its defense a bit, Glacies is fine. And we can mage the crystal, which is really nice. So we may just get a bit of a free pass here for sure. Hopefully with our Axa. Usually it doesn't take more than one crystal at this Vasa. And we'll see its HP get blown up at 20%. Any second now. And Axe goes in, and Vasa dies. So there's a few places where Axe goes off especially well, and Vasa's one of them. I think Vasa, Big Mutadile, Little Mutadile, all the bosses with a decently sized HP pool. The Axe doesn't currently give CoX points, but... well, I don't think it gives points anywhere, actually, but it will eventually give points this Thursday coming up. So, right now it's not that good for points, but it's eventually going to become very good, I suppose. I think on paper, Axe is meant to be better than Guardian in terms of, like, raw damage, assuming you're, like, good with attacking that style. But if you are, let's say you're like a ranger at Tecton, and you're just meleeing Tecton normally, there's a pretty good shot that it's better to run a Guardian than to run Axe, for example. I mean, even if you could use it on Tecton. So there's a bit of a trade-off for all the relics and whatnot. And as always, it doesn't really matter what you take. Our Bullwalker, somehow still alive. Lovely. Mutadile can be a little bit scary, and we usually freeze it off the tree, so I can preemptively switch books here. Anywhere about 40%, there we go. And oftentimes I'll just switch to my Barrage here and top up my HP while it's immune. And back we go. And incoming Axe, there it is. I might try and snag the Overload as well. I kind of need these. Drops on the ground are very much free-for-all. And as Iron Man, all of us can see all the drops, which is nice. Let's get another freeze hit. There we go. And once again, we're going to heal up. I think Intensify can be good here again, but I'm not too sure. No big deal. And lovely. So one brew, one restore is like plenty for all. I don't really use much restore, but sometimes need some brew. So anything you can salvage or scrape through is really good enough. Sometimes have some Karambwam left as well. And we're entering at 1730, 1740. So the best we've entered here is about 1640. These raids are like 21, 22 minutes depending. So if we have a couple of deaths like this raid, maybe we lose a minute. If we do perfectly, then maybe we get like a 16 down or something. And the chances are you can get you can get close to a 15-minute raid here, I think, if you have like perfect everything. So like no deaths, T8s on everyone, good gear, mega rares, you know. So getting close to 20 is more or less the goal every time. On can be a little bit chaotic. If it's appropriate, I'll try tank a hit here, otherwise the meleeers get hit twice, which happens a bit. But one of them with Death Relic, and other one with Banker's Note, so I think we're okay. Resummon melee Thrall over here. And as you can see, the HP is getting chopped off thanks to the Axe, so that's helping a lot as well. Because this Olm is in the Giga CM, this Olm can hit somewhere in the region of 66, I think, max hit. Might be 67, might be 68, I'm not too sure. But I've been hit 66 several times now. I can even hit the head. I can hit the head as well. Gets me a heal every now and then. Can be quite nice. And occasionally, if it's flame phase, I will switch to Ancient Spellbook, just so I can help with the flame walls. Acid phase, so I don't have to worry. For the hands again, I should really be using these two prayers. And then as we switch to melee hand, as a major with Ruinous, I can use Umbra's Vow. Bit more defense reduction yet again. The only trick to this is really the final phase, where I need to be a bit more careful to attack melee hand early, to make sure we don't get a healing phase. Had that happen a few times now. So a little bit more damage on melee goes a long way. Get my melee throw, there you go. For the few damage he's going to contribute. Oh, thanks, Solon. And we're fine. Here, I think I'll go for melee hand first, I guess. You can tailor this for your builds and whatnot, how many players are in the raid, you know, all that stuff. I think trios, one of each style, trio as well is very good. If you want to do like smaller scale chambers. 3-man or 6-man works very well. 6 a bit more consistent, trio a little bit easier, I guess. Alright, there's plenty of damage on melee hand, let's go after mage now. Oh, careful team. We are going to get healing, but we can also execute the hands, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. Here comes the axe. Incoming. Summon our last thrall for head phase. There we go. Luckily dodged the wall. Good stuff. See ya, golf. And the axe should be coming in to chop his head off any second now. Goodbye, Mr. Roll. There it is. Good luck, team. Okay, some decent loot. I've been collecting bucklers recently, so there we go. Twisted, but never the T-bow. There's an example raid from our 6-man Giga CMs. Gonna try and get some different uploads for some solo speeds, Inferno, of course, some Toa once I get my T-bow. So I'll do some other stuff a bit like this just to showcase the power of all the gear and my particular build. But I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.